This is Wholesome Podcast, Wholesome B, Mitch, Wavy, Trey. Today we got Mia in the building today.
Hey.
Welcome.
Hi, everyone.
Hey, but before we start, check us out on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, YouTube, Instagram. Like, comment, share. Let us know what's good with it.
Yes, please. So today what I want to know is, as the holiday season approaches, I want to know when is the proper time to bring somebody around your family, just in general, or for the holidays. What makes them proper? Like, how long you've got to date somebody, or what?
That's actually really funny you say that because my ex-husband and I met 2 months before Thanksgiving. And the first interaction of meeting his mom and sister was very cold. Like when I'm a hugger. Mm-hmm. And they gave me the hand. So automatically I was thinking, okay, all right, we'll play with this. We sat at the restaurant for about 2 hours, had a conversation, and I thought we had gotten to get to know each other. We leave, and I'm like, oh, so nice meeting you guys. And they're like, stiff-armed me, and then gave me the hand again. And I was like, what?
That is insane.
I was like, okay. So I remember having a conversation with him. I was like, hey, Thanksgiving is right around the corner. Mm-hmm. Do you think we should, bring each other around our families? He's like, yeah, I think my mom's expecting you to come. And my mom, of course, was like, she had already met him.
Yeah.
And so so when I went to their Thanksgiving, the whole family, I guess he hadn't told them that I was black.
Oh, okay.
So then we had to deal with that. The first holiday together, we literally had to deal with, okay, you're dating a black girl. So
wait, do you think the hugging part might have been cultural as well then?
I don't know what their problem was. For me, I think it was I think I remember him saying, his mom was like, oh, well, who are you dating? Mm-hmm. And he had to, it always stuck out to me that he said to his mom, I have something to tell you. And she was like, what? He's like, she's black. So I don't think she took very well to that. Yeah. And I think that's where all of that energy was coming from. Yeah. But you can hug me. I'm not a problem. And so I really think that did play a role in the whole start of everything because race kept coming up. How we differed throughout our almost 9 years together.
Yeah, crazy. And so you met him or started dating 2 months before the holidays? So.
Literally 2 months before. Thanksgiving was around the 23rd, 24th, 23rd. Yeah. Literally 2 months before Thanksgiving.
So you didn't meet his parents till actual Thanksgiving?
I met his mom a little. So my mom had already met him because I was living at home at the time at maybe a month prior. So my first meeting with his mom and it was just his mom and sister was the first week of November. Mm-hmm. So then it was okay, well, am I coming home for the holidays? Or I was good to spend it separately because his mom and sister just rubbed me the wrong way.
Yeah. What was his reaction though? Was he like, nah, I got them, don't worry about them? Or
he was just like, my mom had a little bit of a hesitation when I told her that you were black, but I think it's all going to be okay. Because I had black friends in college.
That's crazy. But that was crazy.
Okay.
Yeah, she probably didn't give you a hug because you're black, though.
I really think that's what it was, but I'm trying to.
I don't think so.
That if you were just a homie, you were just friends, you might have got a hug, but you're dating my white son and you're black, you're not getting a hug. If y'all was friends, cool, that'd probably been a different story. But you're dating, I ain't going to go too deep.
I don't think everybody leads with a hug, though. I think hugging is kind of, it's what we do as a culture. It could be invasive
in a sense.
Yeah, I think it's just I think it's a cultural thing that we do more so than some other cultures.
Well, I did realize later on, as I got to know the family more, they aren't affectionate people.
Yeah, see?
Okay.
I didn't know that off the bat, and I wish he had told me.
Yeah.
Because even it was something he and I had to work on in our own home was, hey, it's okay for you to hug me. Yeah. It's okay for you to sit next to me on the couch. Yeah. I'm not going to bite you. I'm not going to do anything. You know.
See? Okay, that's fair.
Yeah, and I think that's what I just wish he knew his family, at least that part of them, that he could have said something.
Yeah,
to
very
me.
true. That's important in dating around everything, love languages, okay, y'all families, y'all's not physical touch clearly, but let me know before I'm just reaching out looking crazy. So that's fair.
Is that something you gotta let somebody know? I know I'm not a big touchy person, but I don't need to let somebody know that just out the gate. You'll find out.
What's your love language?
I like quality time and words of affirmation. Those are tied for my top two, but physical touch is just
So let me ask you a question. Is that just romantically, or do you move that way even in platonic relationships?
For everything, I'm just not much of a toucher.
Okay. Like, but your 2 love languages.
Oh, yeah. That's definitely everything. Yeah.
What about yours?
Mine is quality time and acts of service. So yeah, I like that. Like physical touch. I hate word of affirmation because people be lying. So they show you, they might say one thing but don't mean it. Oh, I love you, but they don't really love you. But I like acts of service because they showing you care about them type shit and vice versa.
Right. See, I've always, from the very get-go, I told him that, hey, I was adopted into a massive Italian family. So affection is how we show protection, security, like that's how we, and he was like, okay, that's fine. But I realized within our first few dates together, it was very... Okay.
Not that.
Like,
yeah.
Why am I reaching for your hand? Or why are you having me walk on the outside of the sidewalk? And these are things that I just knew growing up that men should not do. And him being a Southern gentleman, I thought it was a no-brainer. But I didn't realize his family was so disconnected from each other in terms of their love languages. So I moved forward with, hey, I would say to his relatives, what is your love language? What do you want me to give you so you can feel protected, so you can feel safe? And sometimes some of his relatives, it was just natural. When they got to see me around their children, they were like, Mia's got the warmest heart. My child is safe. I remember like in our first year of dating, I was watching his niece that wasn't even a year old.
Wow.
Like they left their child with us when she was sick. And I'm just like, I'm not saying I'm a serial killer or an abuser, but you don't know me like that, you know, because I only was at the time seeing them during holidays. So I think it was just, we got through the holidays. I will say we got through that first Thanksgiving, but it was definitely cold.
Really?
Yeah.
I could not wait to get to my family's Thanksgiving. I could not wait.
And he came along to your Thanksgiving as well?
Yes, he did. And for me, I think it was, I'm a foodie. So my issue with the South, and I don't want to get chewed up for this, but it's very true. This cranberry patty that's like in a can situation, I don't get it. Like my mom makes literally cranberry sauce.
Yeah.
And that's what I'm used to. So when I walked into his family's Thanksgiving, the portion sizes were massively tiny. And there was a lot of people. Whereas mine, it's like we had a large family. Even as the family started to decrease with losses and stuff, it still didn't feel like, okay, you can only get like, you know, a slice of turkey because then everyone else needs it.
That's only because he was white. Go to black household, that's totally different. You get it, you going ham.
Get as much as you want.
Yeah, literally.
Yeah, and that's the other thing is I realized like every year my dad used to have a running joke that if he went to visit his family, my dad made us stop at McDonald's or something because he knew he was not going to get adequately fed.
Really? I've never heard of this in my life.
At his family's house. And I would say to him, let's drive separately because I knew it would offend him. Yeah. If he was just like, hey, where are you guys? I'm like, oh, my mom had to use the bathroom or I had to. But it was really like, we're in the McDonald's drive-thru because my dad is not about to go up there and starve. That's just what it was.
Yeah, in a black household here in America, like, it's left over for days. Yeah. Like it's done. Like they be like, man, take something home with you. Like it's leftovers. You could get as much. Place be stacked.
And that's what I'm used to. Yeah. So for me, it was a lot of having to figure out, so close to holidays because you know Thanksgiving. Then you have, I mean, I don't celebrate Halloween, so it's Thanksgiving. Then Christmas, and they did. I think it was called like Secret Santa.
Yeah.
And then just that opened up a can of worms with, I didn't really want to give this person, like if someone got my name, they were sort of, I'm very aware of my surroundings and I can see, like you don't need to verbally say something for me to know. I read body language very well. So if it was like, hey, can I talk to you later? Like switch maybe. I'm thinking in my head, bitch, you got me for Christmas, okay? I'm going to tell you. I'm going to make it easy for you. I'm going to tell you, just get me a Sephora gift card.
Yeah.
That's it.
So this is all during the first holiday season.
The first holiday season.
Yeah, that seems very hectic.
And I will say now that I'm back in the dating scene, I don't want to meet anyone in that, what is it, like cuffing season era.
The winter time.
It's just not for me because I think you need to go through that summer together and sort of feel each other out.
Through the summer is
you gotta be outside for the streets.
Yeah, the summer's a free flowing time, is what I'll call it.
So that's how you guys move.
It's a free flowing time. Made it sound horrible. You're gonna mix, you're gonna mingle. It's not really the time to be kind of exclusive with somebody.
Yeah, but you could build with them, like hang out, and then but just know you ain't gonna be the only one I'm talking to this summer. But then when the time get kind of chilly outside, we might settle down. But at least the summer me a little bit.
See, I feel different. I want to get to know you in like March, towards the end of March and stuff like that.
That's a good time.
I like vacations.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not one to go on trips with girls, my girlfriends, because something always happens. And you've got that one friend who goes on vacation and wants to sleep until 11 a.m.
Oh, yeah.
Like, you're getting left behind. I don't care. Because I just don't want to move that way. But
I thought you were going to say something else at first.
I need someone in the summer.
Okay, that's fair, but... I understand that part, but it's like you just can't be exclusive in the summer. So it's like, okay, we could be building and getting to know each other, take a couple trips, having a great time.
You ain't the only one I'm doing this with.
It's a busy summer.
Wow.
It's a busy summer.
Yeah, I got a whole itinerary with other women.
Not a roster. You have a roster.
No. This old me too. But no,
the summer has passed, right?
Yeah. You crazy.
Are you in a relationship?
No.
Okay, what about you?
I'm not.
Okay.
I'm not.
Okay, so carry on.
Yeah, so like
living your little thought life.
Wholesome. I'm
you're wholesome now. Okay,
yeah,
before
wholesome.
Jesus. Okay.
Wow, that's crazy. But no, just like I love building with women, getting to know them, but just like it's so many you really gotta break down and see who's who or whatever. So like I can't be exclusive, then lose out on. Like, just put my eggs in one basket and losing out on the other potentials out there. So, yeah.
You feel the same way?
At one point in life, I did, for sure. But I do think that at some point you have to invest into what you want to see for your future. So you got to start to spend more time with one person and start to really treat them as if they could be your person. Or, maybe you have two people that you treat that way and you figure out, maybe you got three, but... And you got to start to invest that time and figure out who's going to be who and how do you want to proceed in the future though. But it might not be one person.
And they might be in other cities.
It's not wrong along distance.
I guess I'm not a guy, but I hear from my guy friends that being a male and in the dating scene is really expensive.
Absolutely.
Yes,
that's a fact.
Yeah. And that's why another reason I saw it. I ain't trying to spend no money or on a bunch of people, whatever like that. But how many first dates you been on and you paid? None.
No, that's not true. I'm notorious. Like I get a feel right away. I'm a vibe person, and if you, let's say through dating apps, if you and I are connecting and then we get on the phone, just so I can verify if your voice sits higher than mine, I'm like, we're not going on a date. Because
I've never even thought of that.
Yeah, I feel weird at that point because now, like, when the server takes our order,
you pretty much called him a bitch. Like that's crazy.
In the nicest way, I guess. Like, to me, it bothers me because I'm just like, okay, I go to order and then you're like, can I? You have to be careful, especially living in Atlanta. Yes.
Oh wow.
And that's why I always do a voice verify or like video
voice verification is crazy.
I sure do. I have to. And then it also tells me, like, are you able to hold a conversation over the phone?
Okay.
Whereas if it's just through the apps, you have time to think of what you want to type and write.
Yeah.
So for me, over the phone, if it's like, oh, you're taking a little too long and stuff like that. So for me, I get for me, I have been on first dates where I have said to the server, hey, walked over, I'm paying for this and I'm leaving. And I went on one first date where I walked in and the guy had 2 shots on the table and he had 2 beers in his hands. And I sat down and he said, look, I'm already double fisting.
That's crazy. That's right when you met him?
I went...
That's
and
insane.
I'm a very blunt person. I'm gonna say, hey, you are not for me, but you have a good evening.
That was insane.
He just thought, I'm like,
that was insane.
Yeah.
I'm a sexual person, but for me, I was like,
he was he white?
No,
he was black, and he said I'm double fisting.
He was one of us.
Why? I wonder why he thought that's okay.
That was wild.
I think I realized that even our conversations, that I think he thought he was an amateur comedian. And I'm not going to laugh if I don't think you're funny.
Right.
So I wasn't really responding to his messages. But for him to say it in person, and my thing was, I don't need liquor as an icebreaker.
Right.
You know, I'm going to be me. But it was weird. It really threw me off, and I walked away. And I remember in my head, all I was thinking was, okay, get my car out of the valet, da-da-da-da-da. He called and left all these messages. He wrote this like thesis paper to me about how he would like a second chance and, you know, just to rewrite the wrong. And I'm thinking, no, because you're automatically thinking first on the first date something so like sexual innuendos right off the bat. That's not attractive to me, especially since you didn't have any value to you in our prior conversations.
Right.
So no.
Yeah,
but I will walk out. I don't like my time being wasted.
Like mid-date?
Yeah, absolutely.
Like get up and storm out like
I will never forget.
TV?
I will never forget. I went to a sushi restaurant. Sushi is my like weak spot. Okay. And I was so excited to eat here too. And I remember in the middle of the date, I had asked her for a second order of seaweed salad, and he said something about how he doesn't discriminate. He dates all women. And I was like, okay, I appreciate that, you know, because my upbringing is different. I didn't grow up in a black household. I was adopted from war-torn Africa. So for me, my dating life has been different because moving forward, I'm only attracted to black men. Only black men. And so for me, I've met some that are like, well, how can you say you're pro-black, but you have white parents?
That's crazy.
That doesn't make sense.
That's where our conversation went in that dinner. And so I told her, I tapped her on the shoulder. I said, don't bring out that extra seaweed salad. I said, can we split the check? And she's like, what? She's like, of course there is not. I don't care.
Yeah.
I don't need it that badly.
Yeah.
Has he started it? Has the chef started to roll my nigiri and stuff?
Yeah.
She's like, no, he hasn't. I said, okay, then let me pay for my share and then I'll leave. But I was mad because I'm like, dang, I really walked out of a sushi restaurant because this bum just wanted to start bringing up, like, starting to question my blackness.
That was the dumbest thing I ever heard. Like,
we could have had cute babies too, but oh well.
That was the dumbest. That was crazy.
But that's what I'm saying. Like, I think it's important that don't start dating someone around the holidays.
Yeah. Just don't. What's funny you say that because I agree only because the holidays.
He don't be trying to get nobody no gifts.
Well, I didn't say that's what you said.
I know you.
Well, let me say for myself. For myself, I don't think it's right to celebrate holidays with somebody that you're just dating. So no Christmas, no Valentine. We ain't celebrating none of that. Because what ain't no reason to be exchanging gifts and all that. The reason for all that.
Why do you say Valentine's Day?
Because
you said you're dating that person.
Yes.
Is that exclusive?
Well, no. I mean, by dating, I mean we're going on dates. We're going on dates. We're getting to know each other. We're not in a relationship. We're just getting to know each other.
Okay. We're
frequently going on dates. No Valentine's Day because that would require exchanging a gift, right? Or she's getting a gift, or however that works. I don't do it, so I don't know. But there's a gift. There's some type of gift being given. Whenever there's a gift, you know, sometimes people want something in return, or it gives these false perceptions of what's going on. I don't want to give nobody a false perception. I don't want anybody to get the wrong idea. Let's just keep it on. Let's just continue getting to know each other. Let's not do no gifts or nothing. I don't need nothing from you. You don't need nothing from me but time.
I like doing stuff around the holidays. I ain't gonna give you no gifts, but I want to do stuff. I like carving pumpkin, making the gingerbread houses. I like going to the Christmas plays and making cookies. Like I like stuff like that. So I'm cool with it. I just ain't gonna give you no gifts, and I don't want to meet your family.
But that's what I mean. So what do you do on Christmas then?
But this is all before Christmas, so you know this like December 18th, the 20th, when Christmas 24th, 25th. I'm not gonna see her. I'm just saying Merry Christmas and keep moving. Oh, this is right beforehand.
Interesting.
Yeah, so right beforehand, go spend time with your family. We gonna pick this back up January 3rd.
Wow. So what if what if that's her love language though? What if she likes gifts?
Everybody got. I'm be like, I'm not gonna give you nothing, but my gifts is we're going to see this Christmas play. I ain't gonna give you no real ass gift.
Okay, so what if? So I mean, this is a gift though. What if you say, "Here, I got these tickets for this as a gift for Christmas"?
No, I got this ticket because this is a dope date idea, and I wanted to go see this play.
So these are underlying gifts that you're giving her.
No, this is
every date. I see every date as a gift. You have to look at every date, even if it's like financially split. Like I go Dutch almost all the time. That's why for me, I couldn't date someone around the holidays if we weren't exclusive because I'm not necessarily a gift giver. I'm so nurturing that I've already delivered on everything that you want. Like I'm so domestic to the point that I'm like, if you're weird like that, I will iron your drawers. Like whatever it is you want, I do things like that. But for me, unless like I've known guys that don't really voice what it is that they want for Christmas. But if I'm visually watching you, I'm like, okay, you're a gamer. I hate gamers. You're a gamer. So I'm thinking in my head, okay, the new PlayStation is coming out, or whatever. Yeah. I've already had it in the back of my head, and I get that for you. But my thing is, if I say to you, oh, I really want to go to the botanical gardens, and that's something that I would want to do, and you do that, you're giving me a gift.
I agree.
Okay,
I agree with that.
So you do give gifts.
Yeah,
but I'm stuck on the fact that you don't want to see someone that you're casually dating for New Year's Eve. You said you want to pick back up January 3rd.
Yeah, I might got New Year plans already.
New Year's Eve, I don't know. I mean, you should want to hang with them New Year's Eve or New Year's Day, one or the other.
I'm not this year. I ain't doing nothing, but like mostly I'll be traveling around that time. So like I'm in a whole nother city or state trying to figure it out.
That's a good time to do a vacation though. That's a great vacation.
Yeah, with someone else, not that person in my city who I've seen for Christmas.
Well, hopefully you didn't see them for Christmas.
Or before Christmas, yeah. No.
Really? You don't feel like you would want to... I mean, the holidays. Are you a holiday person? Like, you just said you love doing
I like doing stuff, yeah.
That's really cute.
So, like, if we really locked in and shit, like, I do like the holiday season. Like, I like doing that stuff, but I don't want to... That's
so
contradicting.
Let's move with that. Let's move that we are all... I think as we get older, we've got to get out of this mindset of just casually dating people. Like,
yeah,
we have to.
Yeah. And I be wanting to get out there, but like I be running across people who are women who are great people, but then it's just like.
Are you a faithful person when in a relationship?
I haven't really been in a relationship, but yes, I am a very faithful man.
What about you?
Well, you know, black men don't cheat, so I could never.
Yeah, exactly.
Why are you smiling? What's the laugh about?
It's just why that's funny. I mean, was it wrong to smile?
Is it? Oh, you believe it?
Yeah, absolutely.
No,
I mean, I think.
Do you follow that lifestyle?
Yeah. So for me, I think if I think I ever have the urge to cheat if I was in a relationship, I just wouldn't be in a relationship because I don't mind being single. I don't mind being casual. So it's like if I'm going to be in a relationship, I'm gonna be in a relationship. Like I don't have to be there. I mean, I'm very okay with not being there.
So you are hypothetically in a committed relationship. The holidays are coming.
Yeah, that's different. If I'm committed, then I'm be with you. I
okay, so then at that point you're okay with giving gifts.
Wait, I wouldn't want to be with your family though. Don't let me see.
What level of commitment are we referring to though? Because I mean, there's.
I know as men and women, and we're all very different. Our definitions of like I just learned recently through one of my guy friends. When I say I'm dating someone. It's just that one person. But when he says it, he starts bringing up, like, names. I'm talking about, like, DMX.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, wait, what? What happened to Homegirl? Like, what happened to Kim? And he was like, oh, Kim, which Kim? And I'm like, wait, what?
Yeah, it was about 3 Kims. Yeah.
I was just like, wait, what are you talking about? Yeah. But he's just like, that's what dating is to men.
Yeah. Because otherwise, you in a relationship is just one person, for real.
Yeah.
So if a dude say he's dating, it's more than one.
But I think that should, to me, I think that should be for everybody.
Yeah. Okay. So you've been with your girl for now, let's say hypothetically, 2 months.
Oh no, you ain't getting no gift.
Oh, okay.
That's a fresh relationship.
What if you really like her a lot?
No, then yeah. I mean, if I'm getting a relationship, that's automatically mean I like you because I don't be getting relationships and shit. So like, I guess I'm lying. Yeah, I would get I would get her some gifts.
If you're in a relationship, you should be getting a gift for your significant other.
I was lying. I would get her gifts.
I'm trying to get you to find someone.
Yeah.
No, if you're in a relationship, you should be taking care of this person and getting them gifts and doing everything for them before somebody else do it. So, how do you want that to go? Like, do you want somebody else to do it, or are you going to do it?
I mean, do people today still have that conversation about what are we? Are we exclusive, or
I hope
does it
so.
kind of just form into that?
Yeah, they definitely be still having that conversation. And, yeah, the answer could go either way. Then they'll fuck with you in one way or another.
Yeah, I think if you don't have that conversation, then we're nothing. And I for me, when I'm dating, I always stress, do not assume anything. Let's converse about everything. Because if you assume, you're probably assuming wrong. This is not even.
Absolutely.
So I think that's very important. What about when you're dating life, since you're new to dating somewhat? Not the eye roll.
I've been going in and out when it comes to it. I kind of went through, I don't know. Like, I don't really discriminate when it comes to age. Like, the oldest person I've been with was 64. But my thing is, I don't like being called little girl.
Yeah,
that's crazy.
At that point, it's weird to me. So that was short-lived. And then I don't date younger guys. I don't think you're there.
Okay. How old are you?
29.
Okay.
So for me, I need you to be around the same age as, well, not even the same age as me. I say please be older. But I'm a relationship girl.
Okay.
Like, I love being with one person. And it's crazy for me to say that because I have such a high sex drive that you would think I'm out here in the streets with the way I want it so frequently. So for me, I just, going back to being a nurturer, I don't want to take care of multiple people. And I go Dutch. So for me, I want to be able to take you out on dates. And I start thinking like a man, like, damn, okay, I went out with you. You're going to cost a bit. Like, I start thinking like that. So I just keep it to one person. And I don't necessarily, I will ask you, what do you make?
Yeah.
Because it's not me, passing judgment. It's just more so, how do we balance each other out?
So you ask that to somebody that you're just dating. And if somebody would ask me, I would tell them straight up, it's not your business. We're going to have a good time.
So you live.
But wait, I wanted to answer to that though.
That wouldn't sit well with me.
But it's like, because what does it matter?
You could give me an estimate, because I think what happens.
He could be lying.
And he could be too, but I'll find out eventually. If you start declining getting together more often, I'm gonna be like, okay, maybe money's a little tight here or something. But if you are open about, like, let's say you're an engineer, I'm automatically gonna put you in a particular tax bracket,
right?
And so then I know, okay, we won't have to, and I'm okay with penny pinching dates, but we won't necessarily have to. I don't like to share my food. We won't necessarily have to order only one pasta. No,
that's crazy. Nobody's ever done that.
That's why I say, like, okay, so what is it that you make? Or just tell me what is it that you do. And some people in conversation will just tell me what it is that they do without me asking. And then I start thinking in my head, okay, so you're kind of over here, da-da-da-da-da.
Yeah, saying what they do is that's more, that's a better way to do it.
More appropriate.
Yeah, that's more appropriate.
And then you got the ones that are obnoxious about it. Like, I remember I went out with a guy who was like, well, I make about $210 a year and stuff like that, but I'm very frugal, I mean, I did buy my Benz outright and stuff like that.
Yeah, to me, that's corny.
Yeah, that's wild.
And I'm just like, I didn't ask you to do all that.
Yeah.
I just wanted to know, I'm thinking in my head, can you financially support taking us out on dates or doing activities? That's crazy. Like you, I love to paint and sip.
Yeah.
Love that. But if I'm feeling like you're telling me, I'll pick up the wine, I'm saying it could be an $8 bottle of wine, and then you get to my place and you don't have the wine, and you're like, I thought you were providing everything. We talked about you bringing the wine, but then I realized, and then I remember I dropped a guy off once, and my tolerance for alcohol is very light, and it was getting like nippy outside, so I was like, do you mind if I run in and use the restroom? And he was like, my place is a mess. I was just like, I don't care, I just need the bathroom. When I went in, he had not paid his light bill.
Ugh. Listen, you deal with some wild times.
That's what I'm saying.
Yo, this is a wild time. So I wasn't expecting to go like that. I'm thinking, listen, we're gonna go out, we're gonna kick it on, probably pay for everything. It don't matter how much I make, we're gonna enjoy ourselves.
Yeah. No, but that's why I say I think you need to be open about like what it is, because
now I understand why you would ask that because of that. Now.
Yeah, and I hate to. I'm very much so. Every new relationship should start on a blank canvas.
Yes.
But at the same time, if I start seeing characteristics that remind me of someone from my past, I'm not going to pass judgment on you. I'm just going to store that somewhere.
Mental note.
Yeah, I'm going to store that somewhere, because if I start to see a consistent pattern, I'm looking at you like, oh, I got to go.
Yeah.
I got a question. So you live here in Atlanta, right?
I do, unfortunately.
Like, and then you say you live in New York. So I'm curious, like, what's the, like, average dates? Like, where do dudes be taking? What do they be doing? Do it be the same thing, or the dudes who be different? Like, what's?
I'm not gonna lie, and I think I'm about to rat a lot of you out. Some guys have a list of where they take everyone.
Okay.
If I like a man who takes the initiative to plan something, I think that's so sexy. Instead of, giving me an option to pick a place, because I'm not going to end up picking one until the day
I say it
of.
all the time. Women don't need options.
Okay. I mean, no, that is true. Especially when it comes to food, picking a spot, that's true. But I think in other cases, it doesn't hurt too.
Yeah.
To let us have an option. Give us just 2 options. Don't give us multiple. But I think for me, when a guy right off the bat knows where he wants to take me, I'm like, and then he knows for the second date, third date. Like, I went out with someone, I don't know if it was earlier this year, and every date he knew exactly where to take me.
I don't see nothing wrong with it. He's a good planner.
No.
Nah, that's no thought put in.
No, because you know what I did? I'm a little detective. So what I did was I kind of went back on his Instagram has, it's called the highlight.
Yeah,
section.
highlights, yeah.
The highlights. And I went and I watched some of them. And I'm like, oh, that ramen looks like familiar. I'm like, oh, okay, whose hand is that? Oh, okay. And he didn't have a sister that lived close by. She's married and everything. So in my head, I'm like, okay, he's on a date. That spot looks familiar. I never forget a spot. But I think for me is, I would throw him off when I would ask him, take me to the gun range. Then I would say, take me to axe throw. Then he really had to it took him a while to plan it. Anything food-wise, he knew right away where to go.
Yeah. I mean, I don't think there's nothing wrong with having a couple spots like, nah, this is my spot for the dates. Like, this one, first date, always works. There's nothing wrong with having that already in the back of your mind, because another thing women like is decisiveness. So, I mean, occasionally you'll come across somebody like, let me take you out on a date somewhere. They'll say, well, where are we going? Right away. You got to have someone right on the spot. It was like, I got a spot right here. Yeah, boom. So that is a regular thing.
But you can't tell me that you're a foodie and you like trying new restaurants.
Oh, no, you shouldn't be saying that. You can do both.
What?
Depends on how many dates you're going on. And I don't know. I'm saying for just one date, he knows a spot, but he might have a list of spots that he wants to try. I already know the spot I want to try.
Like he had it in his bag. Like, when I get a girl I could take out, I'm going to take her to all these spots I've been wanting to go for the longest.
Yeah.
But
I got a list right now of places that I haven't been that I know I want to go to. And I just don't have nobody to go to with. So somebody that enjoys doing those things, like, boom, I got the perfect spot already. And I got a list of 10 of them already. I've never been to none of them. So, I mean, it is a way.
The Cheesecake Factory is on my list.
The places to go to?
Absolutely.
You never been?
Never been.
Oh, well.
I'm a cheesecake girl.
The Cheesecake Factory is delicious.
They gotta have the cheesecake.
I want to go. And now that whole list that came out, I'm just
that list was stupid. Like, it didn't make no sense. If it's a good restaurant, let it be a good restaurant. But Buddy was tripping, like, gun range, it might take some time to plan. You could just walk into the damn throwing axe place.
You can walk to the gun range too.
Yeah, well, there you go. You could just walk in. Like, I don't know why he would hesitate on certain
because it ain't fit his list.
That's crazy.
Well, I think it also, now that I'm thinking about it, I really get stuck with meeting people or going on consecutive dates with them around the holidays. I'm thinking about it. This was right before Christmas.
Yeah.
And so he was Christmas shopping, so I don't think it was necessarily in his budget. But he changed his time on me. I will admit, I am Miss Tardy. I try not to be. I'm trying to look at my personal life like it's work.
Yes.
I'm not late for work, ever. But outside of that, I'm like, I don't say yes or no to invites. I say maybe.
Okay.
Because I just know me. But I remember he had changed the time. I don't know how familiar you are with Atlanta. We had agreed on a time. I worked my schedule around that to accommodate him. Then I went south towards like McDonough area where the speed race track is and stuff. And he said, could we meet sooner? No, we cannot. Because you changed it to later. You first moved it up, then you changed it to later. And that's why I went about my business.
Yeah.
I can't get from McDonough to Norcross in 15 minutes. It's not possible.
Right.
And so I ended up being, as he felt, 45 minutes late.
So you came right, like, fast as possible.
I did. I dropped what I was doing. And I was like, dang, I really wanted these kicks and everything. But I was at the outlet and I just dropped all of that. And so I got on the interstate, sped my way up to Norcross. I remember pulling into the gun range, and he looked bloody mad. Like, I was late. I'm sorry that you're ex-military, but my thing is you changed the time on me.
Yeah, absolutely. He should not be mad about that.
So when we got into the gun range, I already was upset because I had already told him from my past trauma, I've never been on this side of a gun. I've been on the other side. So for me now, after all these years of therapy and recovering and healing, to walk into a gun range and be on that side was a trigger.
For sure.
So he was pissed because I was 45 minutes late. And
So it's already just a horrible experience.
Well, I was starting to get fuming because I'm like, I started to think as I'm holding the gun, I'm like, what would I lose if I just turned the gun around and accidentally shot little homie?
Yeah.
But then I thought about it, I was like, maybe I
Called him little homie?
Yeah, little homie. I may have a lot to lose, but I remember thinking, he kept handing me the Glock and he was like, sighing and huffing and puffing. He's like, why does it keep blocking every time you get it? I'm like, you know what? I'm cool. I'm like, you handed it to me. It's not my fault that it's doing this. It just is. So it was a terrible experience. So I want to definitely redo that date. But for me, I realized men here are kind of like pussies. Like, I will say that.
Say
they literally
louder.
are. Like, no, guys
say?
are like, they're really like, the men here in Atlanta are bitches when it comes to dating. They don't give you grace. And if they do, they don't want to continue to give you grace. And I get it. But at the same time, you have to understand, I'm not like most women where I need to get all dialed up. I'm going to come as I am. I'm going to come with a little something and that's it. But I think they just start thinking, if you knew we were going on a date, why weren't you getting done earlier? Life happens.
Yeah.
I don't know what the prep time is for men to get ready to go on a date.
It's quick.
Like, I don't know how much thought men put into, okay, well, I don't know if guys think, okay, I like that color on me, brings out my eyes.
Oh, wow.
So let me put that on. Like, guys don't think like that.
I never thought of that in my life.
You guys just go in your closet and you're just like this.
Yeah, never crossed my mind.
Some of you probably even do the pit sniff to see if it's clean or not.
No, that's not okay.
Yeah. We too old for that.
That's not okay.
We too old for that.
So
don't do that.
Well, you have those. So for me, it's just like, I wouldn't recommend dating in Atlanta. I wouldn't. And I've actually when I've been on dating apps, I have actually expanded my search to other cities.
Wow.
Because I think now, after being in a relationship for so long and trying the marriage thing, I don't need someone underneath me and on top of me at all times. I like the idea of a long distance.
Right, yeah.
I love those. I ain't gonna lie.
Yeah.
But with long distance, would you want something that's like exclusive? Like, you can expect exclusivity.
You can.
Wow.
I dated a guy for about 4 months that lived in the UK. Until I started, when we first got together, I was thinking he was catfishing me. But then we actually ended up meeting and stuff, and we kept it going. My thing was, he got to a point where he was so possessive that he wanted me to uproot my life and move to the UK. I said, I can't do that. Like, my life is here, just like your life is there. And so then, of course, the pandemic happened. It was a little after the pandemic, and I was through my divorce and stuff, and he realized he didn't want to get the vaccine. And, to each his own. But America was literally not letting anyone over who didn't have it. And so that's when we kind of fell apart, because I'm like, it's because you don't want to do this. I get it that we're now in this position, but I loved it. Now, I think there's also a thing of how far of a distance it is.
Okay. I mean, well, the UK's kind of far.
Yeah, that got expensive. But I'm a talker. So for me, I'm good to sex. I'm good to have phone sex and all that stuff and be good. Like, you know, for me, I'm not, even though my sex drive is as high as it is, I don't need it all the time. And it's crazy that I say that because I'm not into masturbation.
Oh, that's crazy.
So I don't know how I get that sexual relief off. I just do. Maybe it's through working out.
Yeah. So you don't think that this long distance person, you don't think they having sex? You don't think they was having sex?
No, because he was, just because of the way he was so much underneath me, like I was constantly getting calls from him and everything. But I started to think, like, I think maybe he had a trust issue. I think he wanted to make sure, don't have me on the phone with you and all we're hearing is each other breathing.
No,
yeah, that's crazy. Yeah,
please don't do that.
That's annoying.
And so for me, it's just like, and he liked that. He's like, I just like being on the phone. I don't have anything to say, so thank you. Take care. Like, I'll call you later. But yeah, I think there is such a thing as too great of a distance. But I don't think he was cheating.
Well, maybe he wouldn't. But you know, the one thing that is this a black guy?
Yes.
Okay, so let's toast up real quick.
Yeah, of course.
Since we know he was black, we could guarantee that he wasn't cheating because black men don't cheat. We appreciate you, Mimi, for coming through today. Absolutely. This has been the Wholesome Podcast, a later edition.